In today's class, we'll be discussing about the sinusoidal steady state analysis. In the previous classes, we have discussed with direct sources, direct DC voltage sources, that is the direct current. So in today's class, we'll be looking with AC supply. So let us begin our today's class. So in today's class, we'll be solving numerous number of problems based on the previously discussed theorems, network theorems, such as superposition theorem, nodal analysis, Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law, but for AC supply. So let us begin. So first of all, we have to understand the meaning of sinusoidal steady state analysis. So generally, steady state means that it is not a function of time. So a given equation is not a function of time. But when we are talking about steady state, sinusoidal steady state, this means that it is a periodic function. So this is a periodic function which will be again repeating itself across the time period. So for example, if you have a sinusoidal wave, so this is a one time period that we call as t, which is around 2 pi. So similar to this, we'll be discussing or solving the problem for sinusoidal steady state only in today's class. So let us see the first problem here. So I will request all the participants to side by side try to solve this problem by their own. And if they have any doubt, they can ask any doubt in the chat box. So in the given problem, it is written that find IS in the circuit using nodal analysis. So instead of IS, it will be IX. So we have to find current IX that is passing through the capacitor of 0.1 farads. So we can identify here that we have two nodes. Let us call this as node 1 V1, voltage at node 1 be V1, and the voltage at node 2 be V2. So now we have to write using the nodal analysis, we have to write the nodal equations for each nodes and then solve those two equations. So let us solve for, first of all, for node 1. So for node 1, what we can write? So let us say that the current moves away from the node. So there is a current Ix that is flowing away from the node. We can write that as Ix plus the difference between the potentials. So here current will always flow from high potential to low potential. So we have to assume that V1 is high potential. So V1 minus 20. So we can again write this 20 cos 40 in phasor term as 20 angle 0. So the phase angle here is 0. And divided by the resistance. So a 10 ohm of resistance is connected in between. And finally, the current flow along this direction, we can write this as V1 minus V2 by 1 Henry. So 1 Henry is JL omega in terms of impedance. So J omega, and omega here is given as 4. So this will be 4J. So this will be the XL, that is the impedance of the inductor, 4J. So you have to write 4J, and this term will be all the sum of the three currents will be 0. And also here the term Ix. So since this node is ground, so the difference will be V1 minus 0 by, again we have to find the impedance for the capacitor. So the impedance of capacitor is given by minus J by C omega. So minus J by 0.1 times 4. 4 is the time period. Frequency. So this is minus J by 0.4. So we'll replace here minus J by 0.4 as Ix. Now we have solved, we have got our equation for node 1. So we have to substitute this as Ix in the above equation. So we can write this as, in substituting Ix from this, so this will be minus 0.4 V1 by J plus V1 minus 20 by 10 plus V1 minus V2 by 4J is equal to 0. So this is our equation number 1. Okay, now again we have to write for the node 2. So let us write for node 2, that is this node V2. So for node 2, again we'll take the direction away from the node. So first of all, writing for the inductor, so it will be V2 minus V1 by JL omega, that is 4J. And again for the other inductor, that is V2 by 0.5. So for this it will be JL omega, L is 0.5, omega is 4, so this is J2. So J2. And the direction of current is inward, so there will be a minus sign here. So minus 2Ix is equal to 0. Again we have to substitute Ix here. So I'll write V2 minus V1 by 4J plus V2 by J2 minus twice. So looking for Ix, so Ix is given by minus 0.4. So this is minus 0.4 by J times V1. So V1 is equal to 0. So let us simplify this relation again. So this will be V2 minus V1 by 4J plus V2 by 2J minus minus plus 0.8 V1 by J is equal to 0. So let us take the LCM here. So the LCM will be 4J. It will be V2 minus V1 plus twice V2 and plus 3.2 V1 is equal to 0. So this sum will be, so we have 2.2 V1. So this term and this term, that is 2.2 V1 and plus 3 V2 is equal to 0. So let us call this as equation 2. So now we have to simultaneously solve equation 1 and 2 to get V1 and V2. And once we get V1, we can calculate the current Ix. So I will clean this portion here. So if any one of you have solved a problem, please write the answer in the chat box. So I will just copy the equation for node 1. So this is the equation for node 1. So this is equation for node 1. Also again we can simplify this equation again. So let us take the I think it will be easy to take the LCM first of all and eliminate the denominator term here, and then we can substitute the value of V2 in equation 1. So this is our equation 1. So from here we get V2 is equal to minus 2.2 V1 by 3. So we will be substituting this in equation number 1. So we'll substitute V2 in equation number 1. So let us first of all take the LCM here. So first of all let us take the J term here only. So for 4J this will become minus 1.6 minus 1.6 V1 and plus V1 minus V2 is equal to 20 minus V1 by 10. So this will become 0.6 V1 minus V2 times 10 and 4J times 20 minus V1. Now we can substitute V2 here in the equation. So 0.6 V1 minus V2 is minus plus 2.2 V1 by 3 times 10 is equal to 80J minus 4J V1. Okay. So now let us solve the equation taking V1 on the left hand side. So V1 will be common. 0.6 into 10 is 6 plus 2.2. So 2.2 multiplied by 10 will be 22 divided by 3 and plus 4J. So these are all the coefficients for V1 and this will be equal to 80J. So now you can use your calculator to simplify this relation. So let us first of all take the sum on the LHS side. So 6 plus 22 divided by 3 plus 4I. So this is V1 times 13.9 and angle is 16.7 is equal to 80J. So finally V1 will be 80J. So 80J divided by 13.9 angle 16.7. So this comes out, V1 comes out to be 5.75 angle 73 degrees, 73.3 degrees. So now we have got V1. So finally we can solve for Ix. So Ix will be Ix as we found earlier, Ix was equal to 0.4 minus 0.4 V1 minus 0.4 V1 by J. So minus 0.4 V1 by J. So I am taking this Ix from here. So Ix is minus 0.4 V1 by J. So now just we have to put the value of V1 in I to get the Ix term. So minus 0.4 by J times 5.75 angle is 73.3. So multiply minus 0.4 divided by J. So this is 2.3 angle comes out 163.3 degrees. So this is ampere. So we have found the current Ix flowing through the capacitor. So if you have any doubt regarding this problem, you can ask. So we have found Ix for the given circuit. Using nodal analysis. Okay, so let us move to the next problem. So in the given problem, we have to find I0 using mesh analysis. So in the given problem, we have to find this term I0, that is the energy supplied by this source, that is 20 volt, and the angle is 90 degrees. So here we can finally see that there are 3 loops and already the current through the loops are mentioned. So we have to write the equation for each loop. So let us start for loop 1. So for loop 1, we can write the equations. So the direction of current here is clockwise. So let us take sum of all the circuit parameters, that is 8 ohms, J10 ohms and minus J2. and this term will be multiplied by I1. Okay. Now the other components, for example here, the direction of I1 and I2 are opposite in nature. So you can see that, so I3 is flowing in this way, whereas I1 is flowing in this direction. So there will be a minus sign here. So we'll put a minus. Instead of plus, there will be a minus. And we'll be writing J10 into I3. Okay, and for the other capacitor part, so for the capacitor part, the direction of I1 is in this way, and whereas the direction of I2 is again opposite. So again there will be a minus sign. So minus, so minus minus is plus J2 times I2. And there is no voltage source in the circuit, so this sum will be 0. So again we have to simplify this term. So let us write this in vector form, that will be easier for us. So the first term, that is 8 plus 10i minus 2i is 11.31, and angle is 45 degrees. Angle is 45. Okay, and then I2. So I2 will be, this is I1 plus 2, and here there is a term J, so J is simply 90 degrees, and times I2, and minus 10 angle 90 I3 is equal to 0. So this is our equation number 1. So since there are three variables, I1, I2 and I3, therefore we require 3 equations for each loop. So let us again write for loop number 2. So the components here in this loop are 2 capacitor is there, 1 voltage source is there, and a resistor is also connected, and the direction we are taking as clockwise. So for loop 2 we have to write, so we're just taking the sum of all the components. So minus J2 again, plus 4 ohms of resistance. This will be multiplied by I2. Okay, now again for the capacitor the direction is opposite, so therefore minus plus J2 I1, and for the upper capacitor, so we are going here to see the direction. So I3 is flowing in this manner, and I2 is again flowing in this manner, so this is also opposite. So again we'll put a plus sign, minus sign, and minus multiplied by minus will become plus. So plus J2 times I3, and only current I2 flows from the 4 ohm resistor, so therefore no component of current will be subtracted from that part. And also here we have a voltage source. So here again you can see that the voltage source is, the direction we are taking is clockwise, so this is going from positive to negative, so there will be a positive plus sum, plus 20 angle 90 degrees, so this will be equal to 0. So again let us simplify this equation. So minus J2 is minus 4J plus 4. So this is 5.65. So 5.65 angle is minus 45 degree times I2, and we have twice angle 90 degree I1, and for the I3 part we have twice angle 90 degrees I3 is equal to minus 20 angle is 90 degree. So this is our equation for the second loop. Okay, now we have to write for loop 3. So let us write for loop 3. So in the loop 3, the current source is here given. So already the value of current I3 is given. So I3 is 5 angle 0 amperes. So this is a straightforward. We know I3. So now we have to solve these three equations, 1, 2 and 3. So let us first of all substitute I3 here in equation 1 and 2. So substituting I3 in 1 and 2. So I will just copy equation number 1 and put it here. So equation 1 is here. So let us substitute I3. So I3 is given 5. I3 is simply 5. So I3 is simply 5 amperes. So 11.31 angle 45 I1 plus twice angle 90 I2 is equal to 50 angle 90. Okay. And for the second equation, equation number 2, this is the equation number 2. So from equation number 2, we have to again substitute I3 as 5. So twice angle, so let me write above only, twice angle 90 I1 plus 5.65 angle is minus 45 I2 is equal to, so in the RJ side we'll be having 20 angle 90 degree minus 2 times 5, so that is 10, minus 10 angle 90 degree. So this will be minus 30 angle 90 degrees. So this is equal to minus 30 angle is 90 degrees. So we have to solve for I2, because I2 is opposite of I0. So I2 is opposite. So you can see the direction of I2 is in this direction. I2 is flowing. So I2 is equal to minus I0. So first of all, you have to solve for I2. So let us take the value for I1 and we'll just substitute in equation number, let us call this as our new equation, equation number 4 and 5. So we'll take the value from equation 5 for I2 and put it in I1 for equation 4. So again you can solve using the matrix in this calculator. Okay, so we are getting some answers. Let us check. So I will just find the value for I2 now. So I2 will be equal to minus 30 angle 90 minus twice angle 90 I1 divided by 5.65 minus 45 degrees is the angle. So we can simply put this value in equation number 4. So 11.31 angle 45 degrees. So this will be I1. Then in case of I2, it is twice angle 90 degrees. So let us first of all take the part which doesn't have I1. So minus 30 angle 90 degrees divided by 5.65, angle is minus 45 degrees. Okay, and again we have plus twice angle 90 degrees, and in the bracket we have 2 angle 90 degrees by 5.65 angle minus 45 degree, and I1 is equal to 50 angle 90. So this is the complex equation. So let us again take the I1 terms in the LHS side. So this will be 11.31, angle is 45 degree, and the other part here is minus, so let us take it as it is, plus 2 angle 90 times minus 2 angle 90 divided by 5.65 angle minus 45 degrees. Okay, I1 is taken as common, is equal to 50 angle 90 minus twice angle 90, and in the bracket minus 30 angle 90 divided by 5.65 angle is minus 45 degrees. So we have to simplify this equation. So let us first of all simplify the RHS side. So 50 angle is 90 degrees minus twice angle 90 degree multiplied by minus 30 angle is 90 divided by 5.65 and angle is minus 45. So minus 30 angle 90 divided by 5.65 angle is minus 45. So minus of 30 and angle minus 30, angle is given 90 degrees. So to divide this by 5.65 and angle is minus 45 degrees, and this will be again multiplied by 2 angle 90 degrees. Okay, so 50 angle 90 minus answer, so this is 58 and angle I am getting is 82.5. Okay, and again in the LHS side again you have to simplify this term. So let us simplify this one. 11.31 angle is 45. Okay, and minus 2 angle 90 degrees, again angle 2 angle 90 degrees, and divided by 5.65 and the angle is minus 45. So this comes out 12.01 angle 45. Okay, so now we can easily find I1. So we will find I1 I1 here, so I1 will be 58.58 and the angle is 82.5 divided by 12.01, angle is 45. So I1 comes around 58.58 angle 82.5 divided by 12.01 and angle is 45. So 4.83 angle 37.5 is I1. So I2 will be I2 will be 30 angle 90 degree plus twice angle is 90 degrees multiplied by I1 divided by 5.65 angle minus 45 degrees times minus 1. So this comes out 6.75 angle minus 36. So maybe little error can be there. So Abhishek has reported the answer as 6.12. So Abhishek, you can again recheck. So maybe there will be a problem. You can point out where problem is there. So let us move to next problem. So in the next problem, we have to find Vx, that is the voltage drop across the inductor J4 for the given circuit. So in the given circuit, so we can use any network theorem that we like. So let us, in the circuit, as you can see that there is a voltage source directly connected to a series resistance. So we can use superposition here. So superposition theorem we can use. So first of all, we have to convert the voltage source into a current source, and the resistance then will come in parallel. So I will draw the equivalent circuit. So we are saying that we'll have a current source here and the resistance will come in parallel and the rest of the circuit will remain same. So this, and there is an inductor, then there is a 4 ohm resistor or capacitor, and finally again 5 ohm minus J13 ohm, 4 ohm, 3 ohm, J4 ohm, 5 ohm. So can anyone tell me what will be the value of current source, the current delivered from the source? So find the value of I through the current source. Okay, 4 angle minus 90. Okay, so let us say, yeah, so simple, voltage is given 20 minus 90 and divided by the resistance, so that is 4 angle minus 90. Okay, now we have to find the voltage drop across the J4 ohm inductor. So we have to find the voltage at this point, this voltage Vx we have to find. So since the 5 ohm resistor, so I am talking about this 5 ohm resistor. So this 5 ohm resistor and the other these 3 components are in parallel. We can again simplify the circuit. So again we can say that the current source here is simply a resistance, an inductor, and a equivalent resistance. Suppose let's call it Z. So 3 and J4 are the impedances. So please tell me what will the equivalent resistance. So that is these 3 component these three component in parallel with the 5 ohm resistor. So please calculate the value. So the first three components are in parallel. So the sum of the series part will be 15.8 angle is minus 55.3, and this thing is in parallel with the 5 ohm resistor. So plus 5 inverse, and we'll take the inverse of the answer. So this comes out 4.138 angle minus 12.425. So again, Abhishek, please check your answer. I will also recheck my answer. So the three components are 4 ohm and 5 ohm, that is 9 ohm minus 13i. So this is 15.811 and angle is minus 55.30. Okay, and this is in parallel with the 5 ohm resistor. So this comes out 4.138 angle minus 12.425. So this is Z, 4.138, and angle is minus 12.425, and we also know the current, that is 4 angle minus 90 degree. So let us we can use the current division rule here to find the current through the 3 ohm and 4 ohm resistance. So the current, let us call it I. So I will be given by I is equal to Z. Z is the resistance of in the other branch, Z upon the sum, that is Z plus 3 plus J4, and times the total current, that is 4 angle minus 90 degrees. So this will be the current flowing. So let us find the current. So Z is 4.138 divided by Z plus 3 plus 4i and multiplied by 4 angle minus 90. So 2.15 angle is minus 126.25. So this is the current I flowing through the 3 ohm and J4 resistance. So the potential drop Vx will be I times J4. So I is 2.15, angle is minus 126.25, and multiplied by 4J. So this is 8.6 angle minus 36.25. So this is the voltage drop across the resistor. So this much voltage, volts, is the resistor drop. Okay, let us move to the next problem here. So again we have to use superposition theorem. So in case of superposition theorem, we will take one by one, we'll say the sources. So suppose here in the given circuit there are 3 sources, 2 voltage source and 1 current source. So in case of current source, we do is open circuit, and similarly in case of a voltage source, we short circuit. So let us first of all take first this, call this as voltage source 1, source 2, and this as source 3. So let us take only source 1 and we will not consider the other sources. We'll just short circuit the voltage source and open circuit the current source. So for source 1, so I'll just draw the circuit for simplification of the problem. So this is the voltage source. Again we have a inductor. The current source is a open circuit, so nothing will be drawn there. Then there is a capacitor, and there is a 4 ohm resistor and short circuiting the voltage source. So 4 point, again these values are not given in impedance terms, so we have to convert them. So 1 by C omega is the capacitive impedance, so minus J by C omega actually. So this is minus J. So since we are considering the source 1 here, so the source 1 is having frequency of 2 radians per second, so we'll take 2, so this will be 0.2. So minus J by 0.2, and the resistance is 1 ohm, and the XL will be JL omega, so that is J into 2 into omega, omega is 2, so J4. J4, and the source here is 10 angle is 0 degrees. So 10 angle 0 is the phasor for 10 cos 2t. So let us quickly calculate V naught. This term V naught you have to calculate. So again these two terms are in parallel. So taking them the equivalent resistance, so 4 inverse plus minus I by 0.2 inverse and inverse of the answer. So this comes out 3.12. So now we have 3 components. Let us call this as the impedance, and the source here is of 10 angle 0. So let us add the 4 ohm inductor also, so plus 4I. So the simplified circuit will become 1 ohm resistor and 3.18 angle is 40 degrees. So the voltage drop across the resistor using the voltage division rule, voltage drop V0, let us say V0 1, because of source 1 this is V0 1, so this is equal to 10 into 1 ohm divided by the sum, that is 1 plus 3.18 angle 40 degree. So 10 divided by 1 plus answer, this is 2.5 angle minus 30.78. So this is V0 1. Yes, V0 1 is correct for Abhishek. Good. So I will just clear everything and write the value for V0 1. So V0 1 is equal to 2.5 angle minus 30.78. Now similarly we have to consider source 2 and again draw the equivalent circuit. Since you have to use superposition theorem, this is taking a lengthy way to solve this, but the questionnaire has asked, the examiner has asked use superposition theorem, so that is why we have to use superposition. So let us calculate V0 for source 2. So for source 2 the voltage source will be short circuited. We have an inductor, so we have an inductor and we have a current source, we have a resistor, again a capacitor, and finally this is the circuit. So this is 2 angle 0, and again we have to find the equivalent impedance for the inductor and the resistors and the capacitors. So here the time period is 5 omega is 5, so 5 into 2 10, so 10J. So this is 10J. Resistance is 1 ohm, this is 4 ohm, and capacitance, so minus J upon 5 into 0.1, so that is minus J by 0.5, so that is minus 2J. So this is minus 2J, and this is a current source. So we have to find the let us again take the equivalent circuit. So the simplified equivalent circuit will look like this. So we'll have a 1 ohm resistor, and these two are in parallel, so we can take the sum for the 4 ohm and minus 2J. So this is 1 ohm, and again there is a parallel to both the combination, that is 10J, 2 angle 0, and the value for this which we can calculate, 4 inverse plus minus 2I inverse, and taking the inverse of the answer. So this is 1.78 angle minus 63.43. So we'll use the current division rule here. So we have to find the current through this loop. So using the current division rule, let us call this as I1. So I1 will be the opposite impedance, that is 10J, divided by the sum of the three combinations. So that is 1.78 angle minus 63 plus 1 ohm and plus 10I or 10J. So that is 8.6 angle 77.9, and this is to be multiplied with the total current, this twice 2. So 10 into 2 is 20I divided by the answer. So this comes out to be 2. Yes, Abhishek, we can convert the current source with inductor and a voltage source. So all the DC network theorems will be valid in this case also. So that is 12.09 degrees. So this is the value for current, and the voltage will be simply multiplied by 1. So 1 into I1, that is same 2.32 angle 12.09. So let us write V02 also. So V02 we have also calculated. So V02 will be 2.32, angle will be 12.09. So the source 2 is also now completed. So now quickly move to source 3. Okay, so let us move to source 3. So in case of source 3, okay, so source 3 is simply the DC source. So this will make our work a little easier. So the circuit will be inductor, then current is there, then there is a capacitor, and there is again a 4 ohm resistor, and finally a DC source 5 volts. So since there is a DC source and this is a steady state problem, so a capacitor will get fully charged and will become open circuited, and the inductor will get fully magnetized and will become short circuit. So this will be, the circuit will simply look like this, where this is 1 ohm and this is 4 ohms, and we have to find the voltage at. So again you have to see here the signs. So the V0, we are have mentioned as positive and negative, this as the convention. But since the direction of flow will be opposite, since the voltage polarity is connected like this, so there will be a negative sign. So let us find the voltage V03. So there will be a negative sign, and we'll use the voltage division rule. So 1 divided by 1 plus 4 times 5. So this one will be minus 1 volt. So V03 equal to minus 1 volt. Okay, so what will be the value of voltage across the inductor at 0 plus volt? So you are talking for the DC source only or for the whole circuit? So if in case you are talking for the DC source only, so in that case, the value of voltage across the inductor at 0 plus, we have to again calculate, take that transient condition and solve for that problem. So in the last class we discussed about this problem. So what will be the voltage for the DC source at time just when the circuit has been closed? Okay, so let us move. First of all, let us complete this problem. So there are 3 voltages for the 3 different sources. So the total V total will be the sum V01, V02 plus V03. So let us add these 3 quantities. 2.5 angle minus 30.78 plus 2.32 angle 12.09 and minus 1. So this comes out 3.5 angle minus 13.075 degrees. So this will be the total voltage drop across the resistor 1 ohm. Okay. So Abhishek Sharma is asking what will the value of voltage across the inductor. Okay, so you can solve this problem. So if you are considering the inductor also and all the devices are currently at the 0 charge state, so the circuit will look like this. So for the circuit will look like this: 4 ohm, 0.1 farad, 1 ohm, and inductor is a 2 ohm. So now we have to take the Thevenin's equivalent for the inductor. So we will just open circuit this portion, and at this junction we have to calculate the R equivalent and the C, and since this is a RLC case, so again we have to calculate. First of all, the steps are in the last class we discussed about this. So first of all, you have to find whether the circuit is underdamped or overdamped or critically damped. Then you have to calculate the omega value. So omega value will calculate. Then since this is a second order circuit, there will be a differential equation of second order. So again, for the 3 cases we discussed the differential equations. So as per the 3 cases, if the circuit is overdamped, we have to use the overdamp equation, and then find the roots, and finally you have to solve for the voltage at the inductor. So you can go in the previous lecture videos to find that. Yeah, for DC we can write 5 angle 0. So this is the same problem. So I think we are done for today. So this was the last problem. So if you have any doubt, you can. Okay, so I think my audio is clear to everyone. So if you have any doubt, you can ask now. We have. Okay, so I'll wait for a few minutes. So in the today's class we have solved using superposition theorem. We also use mesh analysis, and also in some cases we used nodal analysis. So this was mesh analysis, and we also used nodal analysis. So Abhishek, you can type your question in the chat box. Okay, so I will unmute you. Okay, now I think you can. Yes, you are audible. Hmm. नहीं, वैसे नहीं निकाल सकते हैं, क्योंकि जो इंडक्टर जो है वो शॉर्ट होता है, मतलब इनफाइनाइट टाइम के बाद तुरंत से वो शॉर्ट नहीं होता है। तो इसलिए जैसे इंडक्टर जो हम लोग स्टेडी स्टेट कंडीशन है, उसमें इंडक्टर का क्रॉस इम्पीडेंस लिखते हैं एल ओमेगा। सो अगर ओमेगा जो होता है वो 2πf होता है, तो क्योंकि डीसी सोर्स जो है उसमें फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़ीरो है, तो इस वजह से ये जो है ज़ीरो वैल्यू आता है ओमेगा का इंडक्टर के लिए। बट ये जो इक्वेशन है ये स्टेडी स्टेट में वैलिड है। हाँ, अनस्टेडी स्टेट में ये वैलिड नहीं है, क्योंकि इंडक्टर के क्रॉस पहले शुरू में कुछ वोल्टेज रहेगा, एट टाइम ज़ीरो पे कुछ वोल्टेज रहेगा t=0 प्लस पे, और ये स्लोली और ग्रेजुअली वोल्टेज डिक्रीज़ करते करते इनफाइनाइट टाइम पे, मतलब एक लॉन्ग टाइम पे ज़ीरो रीच करता है। सो इसलिए वैसे नहीं सॉल्व कर सकते हैं इसको। तो उसमें स्टेडी स्टेट में मतलब पूछा होगा वो क्वेश्चन। अच्छा, 0 प्लस पे। ओके, तो वो प्रॉब्लम पर डिपेंड करता है, प्रॉब्लम देखना पड़ेगा कि अच्छा, मतलब वो बोल रहा है इंडक्टर को ओपन सर्किट करके और उस थेवेनिन वोल्टेज निकाल रहा है वहाँ पे VTH इंडक्टर का क्रॉस। अच्छा ठीक है, वो प्रॉब्लम तुम मेल कर सकते हो, हम देख के बता देंगे तुमको। सो मेरा ईमेल आईडी है vermaprk@gmail.com। ओके, हाँ हाँ एकदम लिख सकते हैं, 5 ∠0 लिख के। हाँ हाँ, तीनों के लिए सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा सुपरपोजिशन थ्योरम लगा के। और हाँ, तो नहीं नहीं, दोनों का सम होगा। मान लो कि एक 5 वोल्ट का बैटरी लगा हुआ है और एक मान लो AC सप्लाई लगा हुआ है, टू टू एंगल मान लो कुछ भी 35 डिग्री है, तो ये जो टोटल वोल्टेज होगा ये दोनों का सम हो जाएगा। जो टोटल वोल्टेज हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा 5 + 2 ∠35 डिग्री। तो इसका RMS वैल्यू निकालना होगा तो इसको वेक्टर सम करना पड़ेगा, 5 + 2 एंगल 35। तो सम कर लो इसको, 5 + 2 एंगल 35। सो ये आता है 6.73। नहीं नहीं नहीं, डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी करेगा तो नहीं सम कर सकते हैं। डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी के लिए फिर सुपरपोजिशन लगाना पड़ेगा। हाँ 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 हाँ, यहाँ पे डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी है, लेकिन जो फॉर एग्जांपल देखो, अगर ये तुम्हारा साइनोसॉइडल वेव है एक, और एक डीसी वेव है साथ में, तो इसको अगर हम लोग ऐड करते हैं ना दोनों को, तो फ्रीक्वेंसी का कोई डीसी वेव चेंज नहीं करता है, इसका सम ऐसा हो जाएगा। तो फ्रीक्वेंसी इसके केस में सेम ही है, बस मैग्नीट्यूड थोड़ा बढ़ गया। मान लो ये 5 वोल्ट था और ये 2 वोल्ट था, तो अब ये जो है ये 7 वोल्ट पे आएगा, इसका पीक 5 + 2 7 वोल्ट पे आएगा, बट फ्रीक्वेंसी सेम का सेम रह गया। तो इस वजह से डीसी के साथ कर सकते हैं हम सम। बट अगर दो डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी का वेव है, एक मान लो इस फ्रीक्वेंसी का वेव है और दूसरा थोड़ा कम फ्रीक्वेंसी का वेव है, तो इस केस में हम लोग वैसे सम नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि फ्रीक्वेंसी भी चेंज होगा। हाँ। हम्म। वो ये दोनों का सम वीटी मेजर करेगा। हाँ हाँ, उसका RMS वैल्यू। ओके। वेलकम, कोई प्रॉब्लम। सो आई थिंक वी आर above past 7 PM, so we'll stop our meeting. So we'll meet again next week, same timing at 6 PM on Tuesday. So thank you all.